My name is Guilherme Teles, and today we are going to talk about the daily tasks of a cloud security professionals. Nowadays, when we talk about cloud, we have to understand that it is an important topic in the technology industry, and it is not difficult to understand why. Cloud computing is dominated by two major players: Amazon Web Services (AWS) and Microsoft Azure. One of the two, AWS, has a significantly larger market share with 47.1% of the cloud computing market, up 42% from the year 2022. As AWS is by far the largest cloud computing service provider in the world today, a job as a cloud security professionals involves a lot of promises and higher pay. So businesses are clamoring for thoughtful cloud security professional, and AWS savvy people. LinkedIn reported that cloud computing topped the list of in-demand skills for the past 2 years. In this latest report, job listings for the AWS cloud platform have increased by 76% in the past 2 years. For those applying for these jobs, satisfactions for higher pays. So Robert Half and Gartner list cloud computing jobs pay over $10,000 a month. You probably know that working as an AWS cloud security professional means using your skills and knowledge to help develop advanced cloud controlled solutions and migrate existing workloads to the cloud. But what does that really looks like when you are looking at a typical day in the life of a AWS solutions architect? So what can you expect after taking the training and getting the job? Come on. The AWS cloud platform powers a large number of companies in nearly 190 countries. So the average salary is 100K a year. So AWS certified professionals have an in-depth understanding of AWS architectural principles and services. They can play the principal role, design and scale AWS cloud implementations using best practices recommended by Amazon. So let's talk about a few presented topics that will give you a clear idea of everything it takes to become a cloud security professional. So the first one, meetings with sales and customers. As a cloud security professional, your job will involve exactly that, architecting solutions. Therefore, part of your days will be spent serving sales and our customers. These can be face-to-face meetings or be part of teleconferences so you can learn about issues and needs. This depends on which company you are working for and your exact role within the company. Some AWS solutions architects are more focused on products rather than customers, although most work to help design solutions to customer problems. The work you do for customers will also depend on where you are working and what your tasks are, as well as where the customer is in their AWS adoption level. They could be early on in getting you to have high-level conversations or further down to the road or even into the implementation. All of that comes into play. So, as I have said, an important part of your job will be designing solutions to meet customer needs and business objectives, developing technical solutions and pre-sales products in support of customers' objectives. So, therefore, part of your day will be spent on what are we calling problem solving. As a cloud professional, you will formulate solutions plans and provide guidance on AWS architecture best practice. You will estimate cost and identify cost control, as well as select the appropriate service based on your data, compute, database, and of course security requirements. You will likely spend part of your day designing and organizing scalable, high reachable, and fault-tolerant systems on the cloud. You will see the increasing moving in existing on-premises application to the cloud. Along with that, you have to decipher data input and output to and from AWS. You may also be called upon to provide guidance on issues such as performance, cost, disaster recovery, and security concerns. So, the general administration. Now, all of the hot topics that I told you might make it seems like your days are going to be pretty predictable, but they probably aren't. That's because a typical day for a cloud professional involves many different tasks. You can spend part of the day reviewing existing environments or planning new ones. Depending on where you are working and your exact role, you may be able to attend meetings or even travel to face to face client meetings. You can write scripts, working on migrations, track new AWS features, or troubleshooting. You will also likely be working with other internal teams, including sales, of course, but also engineers. So let's talk about time management. With all the variety in your typical day, you need excellent time management skills. Planning your day, managing your time on tasks, prioritizing your time on projects. These will likely also be a part of your typical day as an AWS solutions architect. So you also need to stay updated. AWS and any cloud provider is like any other technology, constantly evolving. This means that part of your typical day might involve learning about and researching new services and features being released by the AWS, as well as staying informed on best practices for improving your existing AWS solutions. You will definitely have blogs or discussions boards to go to where experts look forward to informing you of accommodations and best practice, or other peers brainstorming ways to overcome challenges. If you already work as an AWS solutions architect, you may need additional training to ensure you are updated with the latest solutions and updates. So, does this typical day sound like a day at work you would like? Working in a career that offers a lot of variety, fast pace, and the opportunity to help companies solve problems. In addition, of course, to excellent job offers, benefits, and a home office option. I mean, wherever you are. So, challenges facing a cloud professional. The cloud professional is a challenging role, and you need really tough training to understand the complexities at large. You can't afford to see things individually. Most likely, you are a cloud solutions architect with very good development or development skills, or a solutions architect with excellent network skills, or even a system administrator. But when providing solutions to business problems, you cannot let your interests decide the solution. You need to find a solution that seems the problem objectively. As a cloud expert, people expect you to provide efficient, robust solutions that adhere to best practices, emphasize business continuity, while at the same time making the infrastructure fault tolerant, writing scripts that automate redundant tasks. Keeping one eye on security and another on economics of cloud infrastructure. A cloud engineer responsibility increases with the complexity and duration of the project. As your project grows, so does your responsibility. The longer the project, the more people involved in it, and at the roles becoming more complex. If you are working with a team of developers and designers on a small scale project, you might just need to help troubleshoot when things go wrong, or provide some guidance on how to work together effectively. But once your team grows beyond 5 people, and even if it doesn't, the ability to manage multiple projects from scratch becomes one of the key skills that make hiring an engineer worth it. And this is where the cloud comes into play. The key skills required for this role and automation, cloud infrastructure, continuous integration, continuous delivery, costs, and everything else. So, automation is the process of automating activities that can be automated or performed automatically by software. This includes writing scripts and programs to perform specific tasks, such as scheduling jobs or updating databases. Automations allows you to save time and focus on more important things like building great products without having to worry about mundane things like fixing bugs every day before releasing a new version of your app. Or even worse, having someone fix all these bugs. So, a cloud infrastructure provider provides access to multiple servers called virtual machines through the internet cloud so that users can run their own applications without worrying about where to run them. This includes having access not just locally, but anywhere in the world at any time. If we hadn't gone this route, we would have needed expensive hardware and software licenses, which would be very expensive considering how much cheaper it was just to use Amazon Web Services, Lambda services, for example. Some of the roles and responsibilities of a cloud engineer are listed here. So, develop and test new features, configure and maintain the infrastructure, review the security gaps, monitor the applications using any performance monitoring like New Relic, Dynatrace, Uptime Robot, and any other tool. Maintain the application itself by updating the code, configuring servers and server settings like firewalls, web application firewalls, encryption, everything else. So you also need to run some regression tests whenever there is a change made to any part of your code base, so that if there are any broken links or bugs found in the production environment, they can be fixed before going live after fixing them, with developers who work on fixing those issues first before pushing the changes back to the tested devices. So who then report back to the DevOps teams. So where the engineers can review those reports before deciding if they want to fix anything else. Organizations can hire a single individual to perform all of these tasks or appoint multiple people to work as a team. You can hire a single individual to perform all of these tasks, or you can appoint multiple people to work as a team. And of course, the cloud engineer is the person who will do all the tasks, but it can be helpful for each team member to focus on specific areas that are important to the organization. So cloud is an amazing job that requires you to be really good at everything. It is not just about writing code or making sure your servers are working properly. It's also about knowing how to troubleshoot, what technologies you should use and when, and how many tests are enough and how many tests are too many. So, DevOps engineer, but don't have any experience in this area, it might help if you read some articles on the subject, because there are many different ways to do things and none will work for every company. You also need patience. Most companies don't hire someone who won't take criticism or let you know when something isn't working right away. And finally, it's a lot of work to do. So if that sounds like something you are interested, I would definitely give you advice. Go study ASAP. So a cloud engineer these days is a valuable team member who must be able to handle the most important tasks and ensure they are never forgotten. They also must be able to communicate with other departments and collaborate with them to get things done. So the cloud professional architect jobs are creative, collaborative, and constantly evolving. No day will ever be the same for you as a cloud professional, and cultivating a good balance of technical and business skills is a surefire path to success. So, what does a typical day for a cloud professional in 2023? So, here we will take a look at what this role is actually, and the skills for every cloud professional should aim to get, and who they collaborate with on a daily basis. So what is, after all, a cloud professional? The role of a cloud professional is completely open to interpretation, depending on what the company feels the cloud professionals should do in a particular context in relation to its business objectives. So, cloud professional is, of course, a solution architect who has responsibility for designing one or more services or applications within an organization. When thinking about why a company would need to hire a cloud professional, it all comes down to what the company wants to achieve. Generally speaking, the role of a cloud professional involves the integration of hardware and software to meet the customer-defined objective, as well as examining current systems and architecture to recommend more effective system solutions. So, do you have companies that need a cloud architect who is potentially an integration partner, or a cloud services provider who needs a solutions architect to work on their behalf to implement the solution? Often they are responsible for managing a company cloud architecture, working closely with an enterprise architect or a technical architect. However, a cloud professional architect are considerably more focused on impact, process, and business principles rather than the technology itself. So, what are the key skills a cloud professional should acquire? Every cloud professional should nurture a balance of business and technical skills, and validate those technical skills through cloud professional certifications. While primarily a technical role, creative thinking, collaboration, and communication is a key to a successful cloud professional whatever industry you work in. When you work in architecture, it is definitely about having both sides, a technical understanding of a product and the solution, as well as being able to engage with the right stakeholder in the right way. Stakeholder management is an essential part of every cloud professional daily routine. So, having the ability to communicate clearly and concisely across multiple teams across an enterprise is essential. A cloud professional is often someone that key stakeholders turn to for information or guidance about the challenges they face, things they intended to implement, and what the business impact could be if they don't implement those changes. Successful cloud architect must be able to clearly articulate their perspective on what a process needs to be for the solution they provide. Also, many projects will be international, so a cloud professional must be able to adapt to different ways of doing business and communications. So, who a cloud professional architect will work with? A cloud professional communicate and collaborate with many teams across the enterprise. However, who works most closely to that person? Again, it depends on the size of the business. In a larger company, which will typically have a dedicated team of architects, a solutions architect will report to the head of architecture, to the head of infrastructure, or the DevOps teams. The team also typically consists of one or two enterprise level or chief architects or a security architect, as well as a solutions architect planner and a technical one. In smaller company, the financial capacity will be lower. So this means that there will be a much tighter team of architects, if any. In this case, there will usually be one team with all the cloud guys, so you'll be some part of that team. If you are looking for a dynamic, synesthetic, and inventive career, a career in as a cloud professional will be a perfect match for you. So, with more and more features and programs being added each month, AWS Certified Solutions Architect or a cloud security specialty are always in demand to keep up with the ever-evolving landscape. The career prospects for a cloud professional are excellent. In addition to the many jobs available to you right now, you will likely become a sought-after professional with options to move up the career ladder or move to another organization once you are in the field and prove yourself to be a seasoned professional and experienced. We are living in an area completely dominated by cloud computing. When we talk about machine learning, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and everything else, most companies around the world have embraced cloud computing and have moved or are moving from on-premises infrastructure to the cloud. When it comes to cloud computing, the first thing that comes to our mind is, of course, Amazon Web Services or AWS. AWS is, without any doubt, the unique leader in the world of cloud computing due to its compliance with cloud computing models like infrastructure as a services, platform as a service, and software as a service. So AWS dominance can be seen by the fact that it holds about 30 to 40% of the cloud market share worldwide. So it is 3 times as much as it is to the closest competitor, which is Microsoft Azure. So wait, it's not over yet. AWS revenue alone is more than the combined revenue of the next 3 cloud providers, which is Azure, IBM, and Google. AWS has launched its certification model to validate professionals' knowledge against ever-changing industry standards. So trends are always changing and nobody will learn anything if they keep following the trends. So before getting into the AWS certification, one should learn what are the benefits associated with the certification. So in 2017, AWS offers the following certifications level and which prepare depending on your interest. So we have the cloud practitioner, we have the 3 levels of associate certification. So which one that I recommended you go, of course, to cloud security specialty, which has the highest salary in the industry. And of course, it is one of the toughest exams in the world. So we need to first mention of the benefits of AWS certification that relates to growing popularity and the cloud technology. Recent research shows that nearly 83% of enterprise workloads will be moved to the cloud by 2024. So as we know, AWS is the market leader among cloud service provider. Therefore, the advantage of AWS certifications can help you prepare for the upcoming trends in the IT professional job market. AWS has nearly 41% of market share and it's showing gradual revenue growth. Most companies would need AWS certifications professionals very soon. So therefore, in the AWS certification can showcase your skills to potential employees and increase your attractiveness as a job seeker. So the next entry among the main benefits of AWS certification is the development of professional knowledge. As I have discussed, AWS certification requires a lot of study, practice, and commitment to learning a new technology. In addition, recertification concerns also means that candidates need to stay current with the latest AWS trends. Thus, you will have to show your expertise to obtain and also invest efforts in maintaining that certification. So it's an ever-evolving process. You never stop learning. You never stop studying. So most important of all, candidates can also earn other AWS certification to broaden their skill set. Every AWS professional doesn't need to be limited to a specific role. For example, you can go to the DevOps professional after the security specialty, or you can go to architect associate and then you go to the security specialty, which is the path that I have done. And you can choose. Like I said, the knowledge is gradual and sequential. You don't lose anything when you study for AWS certification. So another crucial mention among the benefits of AWS certification refers to the recognition of certified professionals. AWS certified professionals receive digital badges. These digital badges represent your certification achievement and you can use them in social media and email signatures. Digital badges provide instant access to exclusive AWS sponsored certification events. Digital badges also help you gain exclusive access to select AWS Summit event and AWS certification lounges in AWS re:Invent is the annual event from AWS. So in addition, you will also receive invitations to regional receptions with AWS certifications. So now you may find your answer to AWS worth. Any individual would love to get so much recognition with that certification. So for example, machine learning professional can earn the AWS machine learning certification specialty, while the security one can go to the security specialty. So you can display your commitment level. You can also find the benefits of AWS certification in proof of your commitment. Candidates appearing for AWS certifications tend to invest considerable time and effort to pass the exam. So, however, first and foremost, candidates show their dedication to the AWS platform by choosing AWS certification. Therefore, AWS certification shows a professional commitment to the AWS platform. So the AWS certification journey is not an easy one. Therefore, individuals who are successful obtaining this certification must have worked hard to obtain the certification. Therefore, that certification implies the perseverance of those persons. Therefore, you can prove your commitment and perseverance traits with your career, with your future career. So the advantage of the AWS certification the advantage of AWS certification also exists in the form of it's easy compared to other certification. The AWS certification introduced in 2013 have gone a long way improving the ease of potential candidates. These days you can find many resources that can help you get your certification that you want. Support documentations, white papers, instructionalized training, free ebooks, and even on my website, bigsite.tech, you can find your first ebook to start studying right now. So the other types of training such as digital and virtual training also offer hands-on experience with key AWS services. You name it, you can just Google AWS certification, AWS study certification, anything you can find. So candidates can easily access several sample questions and practice tests to prepare for AWS certification exam. So the flexibility in getting AWS certified is a benefit that many aspirants want. So, and of course, a better paycheck. The next benefit would refer to the AWS certification salary. According to recent estimates from the Global Knowledge Survey, AWS certification can improve a certified professional salary by nearly 26%. The average of the AWS certification salary estimates the professional salary will be $113,000 a year. So it's more or less from 80 to $10,000 a month, just the salary without the benefits. So on the other hand, the annual salary of a non-certified professional is about $70,000 to $80,000 a year. So this clearly shows that the benefits of the certification can put a hefty paycheck in your hands every month. So no one would like to miss the opportunity to increase their salary, right? So even if you are younger or if you are older, you can validate your AWS skills with the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam, which is the first one that I recommend. So you should recommend this one and after go to the next level. So in addition to building a professional network in the community, you may also find opportunities to expand your network. AWS certification training opens up new avenues for attending professional meetings, conferences, and meetings. As a result, you can interact with many people and expand your network, which would otherwise be impossible. And of course, bring more projects. Right now, with the post-pandemic thing, there are lots of freelancer companies there. So if you are a freelancer, the benefits of AWS certification could mean more projects in your hand. So and AWS certification builds clients' confidence in a freelancer ability to work with the AWS technology. As I have discussed earlier, AWS certification gives you access to digital badges. Digital badges, when well used in social networks, social media, LinkedIn, and everything else, will of course serve as promising marketing elements. So you can use digital badge to show your credibility to customers and get better revenue opportunities. IT certifications are formal declarations issued by a company that has credibility, serving to prove the skills of a certain professional in some area of technological knowledge. So, for example, software process information security and among other areas. And because it is a statement of knowledge and skills, IT certifications are an important way to grow professionally while generating recognition in the job market. The technology market is very dynamic, very fast, requiring constant updating by those who work in the field. This is where the difference between the professional who has certifications and the ones who doesn't not comes in. And it's no wonder, given that for some companies, certificates carry more weight than a college degree. This happens due to the fact that they make the professional more prepared to perform the job function in any industry. So, in general, this certification functions as a declaration that have one purpose: attesting a professional competence in a given subject. So, cloud security, AWS, cloud platform. Getting certified is, of course, a hard work, but it can be worth the effort. So, when I first started my journey on cloud and IT certification, of course, in IT certification, it was in September of 2001. So it's a long way right now. It's almost 22 years that I have been doing certification. I have 58 titles so far. I have worked with Microsoft technologies, Linux technologies, middleware technologies. Then I got the CISSP certification, and then I moved to cloud security. And I can say every week there is employing call me to an interview, and it's good to have a good resume with lots of certifications because my employability kind of goes higher and higher. So it is inevitably worth it. So both from a personal and as a team perspective, as you can see that I have reached the security specialty level, it's kind of gives confidence. With certification under my belt, I gained more confidence in my ability to use the security services efficiently. So, and of course, I talk about credibility. Being certified professional demonstrate that I have achieved a level of knowledge and understanding of security frameworks, of the industry, of the market, and everything else. This gives colleagues confidence that you know what I am talking about. Doing any cloud certification will, of course, be difficult, like anything difficult in life if you are not committed, unless you like to succeed. So, if you are determined to become a better cloud or an IT professional, you should definitely consider this certification program. I found it a very positive experience. So, if you are pursuing your certification, I recommend you to start studying right away because it is, of course, a good industry. If you have any question, any doubt, please let me know.